What's going on, everybody? So one of the things that prog rock tends to do to separate itself from the crowd a little bit is that they tend to use a lot of different types of time signatures. Some odd, some very common, but they tend to mix that up as part of the songwriting, right? And one of those first time signatures that can smell a little elitist, but that could easily be washed off and it becomes a really fun groove to play in, is that of 7/8. So today, in this lesson, we're going to do a couple of my favorite things. One, we're going to play in 7/8. Two, we're going to use some pretty colorful chords, and we're also going to use some open strings. So let's get in it. Really fun little progression there, okay? So before we jump in, I am in standard tuning. Down in the description below, you can find a link for the tabs that I just saw go across the screen and some of the other stuff that we're going to talk about. If we're in a measure of 4/4 common time, there's 8 eighth notes, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? So 7/8, all you're doing is removing 1/8 note. Okay? And a lot of times, 7/8 can be felt differently, like different accent patterns, right? We can accent those 7/8 notes as 4 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? And your whole phrase is still 7. Cool? You can do 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You can even go smaller than that. And this particular example tends to go 2, 2, 3, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, plus the 3 is 7, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that is really common. You'll hear lots of bands do that. Maybe they'll just chug or put stabs on those accent points, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right? If you listen to Dream Theater, you've heard stuff like that before. Right? Even Tool will do things like that. Okay? So let's talk about the harmonies. When I originally started just coming up with this idea, I was actually playing this C major 7 chord. Very easy kind of open position voicing, right? 3 or C, E, and then open G, B, and E. 2, 3, open, open, open. So now, just where we are on the guitar, if I'm playing 4/4 or just 8 notes, I can easily go down 4 up, 4 down. Right? So if I wanted to make that 7, I can just chop off the last note, right? I can go 4 up and 3 down. Like that, okay? But this particular example, I'm using the 2, 2, 3 kind of accent pattern. So I'm going a little more deliberate with the phrasing of the picking, right? So I'm going 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That really helps bring to life that kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 feel, right? And then I was switching to basically an E chord. Right? Or an E7 chord. Right? They sound nice together, different keys, but they sound really nice together. And I was doing the same pattern. But then you know what? Typical, I say this all the time, but if you're fans of this channel, you've been watching this for a long time, I love major 7 chords, I love open string voicings. So let's mix them together, right? I can take this chord and I'll put it in 8th position. This is your de facto major 7th voicing, right? But I love me some sharp 11s, so I'm going to take my middle finger, put it on 8 or C, skip a string, 9 on the D string or B. With my pinky, I'm going to play E, the 3rd. Here's my major 7 shell voicing. And then with my first finger here, I'm going to play this F sharp, 7th fret of the B string. Really nice. Major 7, sharp 11, fancy, crunchy, spicy chord there. Very nice. And then, so open strings. E string rings out. You know what? Since I'm playing E here, which is technically the same note as my pinky here, I'm going to take my pinky off and play the open G, which is another chord tone. And I get this really nice chord voicing. So now I can pick that like that. Now I feel like I'm writing a Steven Wilson song. There's my 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Then I'm going to move it down here to play an E7 chord, but I'm going to play this cool inversion. I'm going to put 4 in the bass, skip a string, 2, 4, 3, E. So it's G sharp, E, B, D, E. But, you know, typical my own styling, I can't just pick out the same chord. Again, I just picked out this one the same. So this one has to be different. This is progressive rock, right? So what I'm going to do is open E and then bar on the high string for some variation. Back to the first one. Now, this is something I tend to do a lot, especially writing in odd time. Usually that very last measure, right? We had 4 measures of the C chord. We have 4 measures of this E chord. That 4th measure of the E chord, I'm going to add the 8th note back on and make it 4/4 or 8 eighth notes. Okay? So I'm going to come up here, play 7, skip a string 6, 7, right? B, G sharp, D. Here's my 4 notes. And then I'm going to play those 4 notes. 4 plus 4 is still 8, right? So 4/4. Like that. And there we have our fun progressive rock 7/8 chord progression. We got some nice, colorful chord voicings. We have the 7/8, right? I think that's all you need. Down in the description below, you can find a link for the tabs. As always, let me know what you come up with. So until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.